beautiful autumn leaves and a lovely blue sky here at Almond Homestead. I have to remember that life goes on even during the hardest times. Many of us in the United States are going through kind of a difficult time right now because of our presidential election. We feel that it's been sort of a step back for those of us who are of a different spiritual persuasion, let's say, and many of us who are female and of various colors and religions or spiritualities. There's been a lot of fear and a lot of anger. And I think I've come up with something that's been helpful to me if you need to break out of that angry, fearful mode. So I have been an energy worker, a Reiki master for several years now, and one thing that it seems to be helping when I become very upset and angry and full of rage and fear is to realize that there is perhaps an egregore or a group spirit of some sort that is feeding off of my anger and fear. And I really believe that we are connected to one another and to things in our environment and the universe by energetic cords. And I realized that the fear, hatred, anger egregore is also trying to stimulate that fear and anger. And one way that I could cut off its feeding supply is for me to not deliver that fear and anger back to the source. So imagine that there's like a tube-like cord, and it's attached, whether I wanted it to or not, it's attached to this source of anger and hatred, which I'm going to call a negative egregore. And whenever I detect now that that it's feeding off of my anger and fear, there'll be something in the news or in the environment or something that starts to trigger me. I focus on sending Reiki energy back through that tube as opposed to letting it feed off of my anger and fear. And it really seems to be working and being very helpful to me. So whether or not you do Reiki or you send white light, whatever it is that you might happen to practice when you're sending positive energy to somebody or something, some situation, it should work just as well as Reiki. If you do Reiki, then send that Reiki out to that source that's feeding off our anger and hatred. And I think you're going to notice a difference. It really made me wonder if people just got together and sent that white light or that Reiki energy to this egregore of hatred and anger. What would it do? It might make a big difference. So anyway, that's my take on the situation. And I'm feeling much better. Just recently, just within the last few days, when I discovered this strategy to help me out. So I hope it helps you. Let me know in the comments. And whether you're in the Northern Hemisphere celebrating the autumn, going into the darkness of winter, or you're in the Southern Hemisphere celebrating the emergence of spring, may you be blessed, many times over by the goddess and the god as they keep you safe under their wings.